Greetings, geeks, and welcome to an extra special Geeks in Space. This is episode 440. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and with this special After Dark edition of Geeks in Space, we have Nate Ostendorp.
Hello.
Chris DeBona.
This is Chris DeBona, After Dark.
And Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Is this the first time we've ever, in our 20 years, we've obviously recorded in evenings, but I can't remember the last time we've recorded in an evening.
I don't think we have, at least in the last couple of years, during the lost years when Bates forgot to upload things.
Right.
And there was tons of them. There was the 2010 New Year's broadcast.
Yeah, the marathon.
Midnight,
The marathon, where we went 12 straight hours.
It was remarkable. But
and when we all tried to switch over to UTC and started broadcasting at 3 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that was incredible. And YouTube had just come out, and we were trying to see if we could screw it up by broadcasting it when they would bring down the site for maintenance and cleaning. Sort of like how grocery stores now, they shut down at 6 for deep cleaning, they say. I think they're just getting stoned.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wouldn't you? You live in California. We live in Michigan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's weird. Like, our potatoes are good quality potatoes, but they smell kind of like pot. So I think someone is smoking near the loading dock. Anyway, not important, but interesting.
All right, then. Let's see. The best thing.
Potatoes.
Oh, I see what you did there. Super clever. I'm gonna make the joke now that I had. It's not a good joke, but I read the joke today, which was it's 2016, which is now the exact opposite of Pokemon Go in 2016. So remember, like when we all went outside and we like walked around and like pretended to catch Pokemon and like we were together like as friends and stuff. And now
it's Pokemon Stay Inside.
Now we never get to do that ever again.
Pokemon you wish you could go.
I also bumped
did you see that Razer has a Pokemon themed pair of earbuds with a Pokeball as the holder charger?
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was super sweet. I'll find the story and we'll link to it.
It seems to me that that's the sort of thing that somebody has a child that would enjoy. It's mine. My child would enjoy that.
Interesting. Yes. Not you, but the child. No. Razer has a Pokemon keyboard too. For girls, China exclusive. Mouse is not included. That's pretty screwed up. I mean, why do you think only girls want this?
Look, man,
they've clearly not met Rob Malda.
Deep inside, I am a 12-year-old Japanese girl. Is that what you're saying?
And come on,
well, Razer is a Taiwanese company. These people love. Anyway,
come on, Charmander. There's nothing feminine about him. Like he. Blast stuff with fire.
And that's inherently masculine for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Certainly.
I think so.
And it's probably best that maybe I shouldn't say this, in case somebody decides to come to my house, but the light bulb next to my chair for audible commanding purposes is named Bulbasaur.
There you go.
Well, I think that's completely appropriate.
Geodude, okay? Geodude is a masculine Pokemon.
Well, because it sounds like Geoduck, which is a masculine-looking animal.
Well,
I would pronounce them Gooey Duck.
Gooey Duck, yeah. You're right.
They are also possibly the most sexually suggestive thing in the animal kingdom that doesn't actually have male genitalia.
Really?
Yeah. Go find videos of people harvesting Gooey Duck. It is truly disturbing.
I don't even like the word.
Yeah. The harvesting isn't so bad. It's when you actually get them out and you're cleaning them for, eating. Then it becomes obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty great. We actually should find that video because it's fantastic. If somebody finds it, they share their screen like we're professionals or something. I was mad. Here's my shake my fist at the universe moment. I have not yet been price gouged for eggs or flour, but today I tried to buy an Elgato DSLR USB connection for a camera so I could try to record something in my wood shop using my DSLR.
Oh, the camera 4K link thing.
Yeah, they are. Okay, well, the only places you can get them have them for like $400, and they normally cost like a quarter of that.
Yeah, no. So first of all, the Cam Link 4K is not a great device because it really only works with camcorders and cameras. It does not work with like anything else, right? So any other HDMI signal, you have to have the HD 60S. That said, the Cam Link 4K is the most spottily inventoried device in all of Elgato's catalog. Like when I finally got mine, it took forever, and it was a great price, $100, but it was such a weird device, because I've got HD60Ss, those are great, but
don't those require a GPU?
No, not at all. So the HD60S, you have to have a USB-C connection to really use them well, but that's not hard. And yeah, they work great. I love those damn things. That's what I'm using here for when I want to stream.
I wonder if I could get one of those to operate off of an iPad for like a portable woodshop.
You can.
Oh.
So I've plugged an HD60S into an iPad so I could capture things from the iPad, and it works A-OK. I don't know about the Cam Link 4K though, because the Cam Link is a weird beast. So I wouldn't assume that's gonna work.
All right. Well, then maybe price gougers have just saved me $150 by.
Oh, so you didn't buy it?
It's just I was looking for one.
Yeah, HD60Ss are out there at pretty reasonable prices, from what I can tell.
Well, I was holding back because I wanted to try to plug it into an iPad, because the specs say it requires a GPU. All right.
You have enough of one. So.
Let's see. I had like 3 fun things on the talk zone. Oh, did you see? I put up somebody custom printed a keycap for a mechanical keyboard with a little Purell dispenser on top. So your escape key can be a little tiny Purell dispenser, and it is adorable.
I thought that was super cute.
Okay. Do we want to talk about Dune? Because I have a feeling we'll get stuck there forever.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, there's a thing in space, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. Rob, you have a lot of experience with Hawaiian pronunciation.
I do.
Where were you going with that?
Yeah. Is there more?
Oh, I look at Taco Zone. I'm trying to pronounce it. Oumuamua.
Oumuamua.
Well, it's they found it in space. There's some debate if it's like a multiple mile long tube or if it's a multiple mile diameter pita. But they don't really know what it is. It's kind of cool.
This was like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
I just wanted to make Rob say it.
Well, guess again.
Fart.
I'm not your monkey.
I'm not your monkey.
You have to be more clever if you're going to trick me into something.
I'm
not Rumpelstiltskin. I'm not.
If they hadn't botched it. Apollo 13. Did anybody bother watching the movie again last night in celebration?
No, I've seen it.
I
thought it was kind of cool that you knew when to start it so that it would say Houston, we had this problem the exact same moment they did 50 years ago.
50 years
later.
That
was really cool.
We started the movie at 9:17 last night. I did not watch it because I watched it like 3 weeks ago.
And then what Pink Floyd album do you have to listen to?
Yeah.
The Wall.
The Wall is dumb.
Animals B-side.
I would say maybe The Division Bell. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The Division. Okay, what? No, mute him. The Division Bell.
Come on, man. Don't you remember how great it was back in like 1994 walking into a record store? And
I was so happy there was a new Pink Floyd album.
And then you got that one.
And you're like, hey, this doesn't sound like Pink Floyd.
Well, it kind of sounds like later Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
by definition, it is later Pink Floyd. So
right,
my dad had a VHS copy of like a live performance of was it Delicate Sound of Thunder? And so that was actually my first Pink Floyd album, and I listened to it a great many times before I worked my way backwards through their good ones.
They had another one that was a concert movie that was back when they were the one band. Boy, what was it? It was like in Greece in like Dionysus's, amphitheater or something. And it was incredible.
That was Yanni you were thinking of.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Yanni.
At the Acropolis, yeah.
Wait
I love that one too.
Cool.
Was there a pan flute in there, Chris? I think that was Yanni.
That was not Yanni.
At any point did Enya show up for a solo?
I'm sorry. It was live at Pompeii, 1972. Filmed in the old Pompeii amphitheater, so it wasn't the Dionysian there.
Yeah.
And that was just like, it was so 70s though, because it was just like these guys standing in the amphitheater, like bonging on cowbells or whatever. So.
All the cool bands are gone, man. Okay, I also put up, if you haven't seen it, a bunch of photos from the Juno of Jupiter, which I had never seen these photos, and these are like some Looney Tunes high-resolution crazy photos of Jupiter that I had never seen before.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
They look like Impressionist era paintings. They're just amazing.
Yeah.
Way better than the hexagon thing. You think the hexagon thing is pretty neat, but this is just... okay. I'm going to take 2 steps back and then say, go ahead with Dune, Chris.
Okay, I'm just going to ping Bates one last time and say, we're about to talk about Dune, dude.
You should just dial him in. You should call his phone.
No, I can't do it. It's
too cruel.
It's just, we're about to talk about Dune. I mean, he has to come. I mean, yes, he has children he has to worry about, but isn't this more important?
If you,
it's not, but still.
No. If you ever have a discussion about Star Wars or Marvel movies and don't summon me immediately, I would feel equally horrified.
Well, there are people from Star Wars in the Dune. I mean, there's a lot of, this is important. This is like the conflux of all things we talk about. So
let's see. Well, why don't you take the reins, Chris? Because I know this is your jam.
No. It's okay. I've been talking too much as it is. Nate's here. We don't get to see much of Nate. Nate. Let's have Nate talk about his first Dune.
I don't know anything about the new Dune. I mean, I read the book Dune, and then I watched the
David Lynch Dune.
And then I watched the horrible sci-fi network Dune.
Yeah.
And this looks like it's probably better than that.
Yeah, it's probably better than that.
I mean, I haven't read anything about it either. I just saw the screenshots this morning.
Looking at it does look kind of Star Warsy. I'll say they've got someone who's definitely in a Jedi outfit or a Sith outfit about halfway down the page.
Yeah, that would probably be a still suit, right? Let's take a look.
I assume the still suits are what we're seeing at the beginning and the end. They've got a bunch of there's like the whole armor.
It's the picture of Lady Jessica.
She's looking very Jedi.
Yeah,
Sithy.
She's too pale to be in Jordan. I'm sorry, on Arrakis. She's just so pale, man. Anyway.
They invest in really good moisturizer,
right? Yep. That's what still suits really are. They just, they apply moisturizer to your body continuously,
like everywhere. You're just like floating.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin. All right.
So they've got some great actors. Unfortunately, I think it's not going to work for all of them because they're used to being top bill and anyway.
But the lotion must flow, Chris.
Yeah.
The lotion must flow.
Right.
You don't want cracky skin, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if you like. So every once in a while, there are these gloves you can wear. You apply lotion, then you wear the gloves, right? I wonder if that's like the progenitor to still suits.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that your bodily waste becomes new lotion.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's not so far from
just being realistic, guys. That's how it works.
There's only one.
It's all carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen.
Right, it's Sean food, man. We're all Sean food. Now, you know, the lotions, they often have lanolin, and all that lanolin in is this like sheep squeezings. You know, it's like the oils that they produce on their skin. So it's like, yeah, I mean, sheep squeezings. Let's go with that. So
Didn't Dennis Villeneuve, however you pronounce his name, didn't he get? Wasn't he the last Blade Runner?
he was the last Blade Runner. He was the Arrival. He's very talented, man.
Arrival's really good.
He's the right person to put on this. I think it may be unfilmable, but I mean, if anyone's got a chance, he does.
Well, they're splitting it into 2 movies, and I'm sure that will they won't turn it into 7 like Harry Potter or something.
Well, yeah, but I remember what happened with not the Hunger Games, the other one, Divergent, right? Where they're like, oh, we're gonna have like 7 movies, and 3 into it, they're like, and maybe a TV show.
I think they just ran into a problem with that in that there was 3 different franchises about teenage superheroes and dystopian worlds. So they reached saturation point. You know, there was the Maze Runner. Was that the other one? Maze Runner. Divergent, and then the Hunger Games, and I'm sure there was something else I'm missing there, but
there were a lot of movies right there that seemed pretty much the same to me.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I watched all of them and can't tell you really anything about any of them, really.
You know, I saw one of the, I don't know, the Divergent was really hard to watch just because it was like a black hole of bad talent, you know, and it was just, dude, it didn't work.
The scary thing, I think, is that actually it was one of the better ones. The Maze Runner 2 is a challenge. Divergent 2, all of those, the second ones for those they're horrifying. I mean, look, we'll be there. Let's be realistic. We're probably going to watch Dune streaming to our devices anyway, because who's going to be sitting in a movie theater? Because isn't that supposed to come out at Christmas?
December 18th.
Yeah.
So how many of the books are they going to do? Are they just doing the first?
I thought they were turning the first book into 2 movies.
Okay.
So Saturday Night Live hasn't actually been all that funny for me for a while, but they did a parody of all of these, Divergence and the rest, called The Group Hopper. It was just a commercial, right? But it's literally the funniest. It's the funniest dystopian YA novel adaptation. So I'm going to paste it in the general channel.
Excellent.
All right.
It's totally worth watching. It's so funny. So
I could find something that's worth watching because it kind of feels like slim pickings right now. I finished Altered Carbon yesterday, and
I couldn't get past the 3rd episode. I was like, nothing's happening. I'm bored.
Yeah. I mean, it took me this long, and I think I watched the first 4 like the day it came out.
Wow. Yeah, I finished The Expanse, which it was good. It was very satisfying. So, thumbs up on The Expanse. Cool. But we're supposed to be talking about Dune. So let's go down the list. All right. So we have Timothy Chalamet.
The most beautiful boy.
Sure. As Paul Atreides, we have the guy from Devs, the Unix Greybeard, as Thufir. We have Oscar Isaac as Leto, Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, or LJ, which I guess we call her now, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Everybody should be their initials now.
Yep.
It's like Picard, you know?
You're so right, CDB.
Josh Brolin is Gurney Halleck, which
I
would have been happy if they just, cross-sectioned the books and made him all about Gurney Halleck. He's,
just let the card back.
And then just make the sequel about the Mentats and call it good.
Right? So I have to say, I think Jason Momoa as Idaho, I don't think it's going to work. I don't see. It's just
I didn't see
that's not who he is.
Oh no.
yeah. Mm.
Oh, I
Who's
missed weird.
Baron Harkonnen?
Oh, so I think that's actually that was a good choice. It was oh crap.
They've got Baron Vladimir listed here, not a Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah, no, but it's in the IMDb page.
Stephen Mackenzie Henderson is Thurfer Hawat.
Yes, he's gonna be good. It was I'm not sure about Skarsgård as Baron Harkonnen. So he's the one who meets, if it's who I think it is. But Raban is being played by Dave Bautista. Oh. I think that can totally work.
Yeah.
Right? He's just if he can really gross himself up, I think he's a menace, He'd be a good menace. Anyway.
Oh man.
How about Peter de Vries?
Peter, okay. So let's bring Peter de Vries back around to the modern age. So Peter de Vries was played by Brad Dourif in the David Lynch movie. Brad Dourif is whose uncle? This is a prominent CEO in technology. Anyone?
It's all you, man.
Nat Friedman.
Really?
CEO of GitHub. His uncle is Brad Dourif, or his first cousin or third cousin. So yeah. So
uncle or first cousin or third cousin.
He was in his wedding.
Grandma. He might be his grandma. I'm not sure.
So did you guys see Timeless, the TV show?
Yes.
So the guy who played at least I think it was him. No, it wasn't him. So who the hell is David Dalmalchian? David Dasmalchian.
Yeah,
look him up. I don't know by face.
He was in Blade Runner. He was the chemist who got murdered by the replicant or a doctor.
So he's like a
mortician. Yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been like that guy who's on TV for 5 minutes in that one show.
Right. He's that guy.
Yeah. Oh, I recognize him from Ant-Man. Yeah, he's the guy from Ant-Man. He's one of he's the Russian guy.
He's that guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He's likable.
I that's not a bad character actor for Peter de Vries.
All right, I think he's gonna be fine. Just like Brad Dourif, he wasn't like he's just you have to be just kind of like a little wacky and weird to be Peter de Vries.
I will literally watch Oscar Isaac in anything ever.
He's great.
He's like if you have the 18 natural charisma and then you accidentally swallowed something that gives you a bonus to your charisma beyond that. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's compelling, The other person is Pedro Pascal. And I always used to get them mixed up. But anyways, they both kind of came out at the same time. And it's just like, I would watch this guy in anything, But yeah.
Although I suppose last time you saw Pedro Pascal in a TV show, you didn't see that much of him.
Which one was that?
Wasn't he the Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian?
That's true, but he was great as the Mandalorian. You could tell.
Sure. It's a hard role, man.
It's a hard role. It's not easy to be wearing a mask the whole time.
No, you got to like move your arms and stuff and like make.
Yeah. It's like being Groot.
Yep. Sometimes
like Vin Diesel. Mad props to Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel definitely brought that Groot to life.
He sure did.
All right, go in your box and say the words 50 times, cash your check, and go home.
And now you're curious about something. Say it.
Cool. Don't worry if you're a baby or an adult. We'll just do it like with a synthesizer later. Let's see. What else did I have? I actually showed.
I heard they were going to have Baby Yoda in the new Dune as well, but no.
They should definitely do that. But I mean,
instead of sandworms,
Baby Yodas.
Disney should totally put him in everything. Just
Yoda,
every new project has at least a Baby Yoda cameo.
It adds $25 million to the opening night box office receipts.
Let's just ride this horse till it's dead.
You know, if they said and for the first time in the Dune universe, the Shai Halud will be played by Baby Yoda, and it's like, boom, $100 million.
He's 1,000 feet long, and Timothy Chalamet is riding him.
Well, the hard part is when you have to throw the hooks up on top of his ears and climb up.
Yeah.
You know,
Poor he just reaches up and grabs the thopter.
You just go outside, lay the thumper down, and summon the Baby Yoda.
Now wait a minute. Isn't Spice worm poop?
Yeah.
Yes.
So does that make Spice then green in this universe? Does Yoda poop green?
No, he just is green, dude. I mean, if he ate a lot of green food, I imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's like perfectly at one with the light side of the Force, he just like absorbs his poop and it just goes into the Force.
So this was something I was. Yeah.
Are you upset you didn't see any diaper changing scenes in The Mandalorian? Because I was looking for those too. Like you've got a baby. There's got to be some comedic scene where you get pooped on.
Surely he soiled his diaper by now.
Who was the gal in the episode from Strangers with Candy? She was the mechanic in the one episode, or the dock keeper. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It seems like it would just be her, because you can just imagine her comedically holding her nose and like acting all wacky like she would have in an episode of Strangers with Candy. There's actually a weird article on there right now about digital hoarders. And that I don't think that, I mean, Uriah is the only one that's a real digital hoarder, although Nate, you're probably pretty up there too.
I kind of had to give it up. Like when I no longer had a unsupervised commercial network connection.
Yeah, I have a friend. He's lamenting that he has filled 108 terabytes with things, and so he's like, I just can't expand even further without upgrading the base Synology from the 16 gigabyte max version to 128 gigabyte max. And I'm like, that's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah,
but you know,
once you're over 50 terabytes, though, you're kind of in the broken human category.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, some of my best friends have ridiculous terabytes.
Yeah.
You know, some of my best friends have 50 terabytes.
And if you're going to do 4K rips of everything, like those can be 25 gigs easy.
Yeah. Or more.
All right.
Gosh.
All right. I don't think my network is even fast enough to stream those. Let's see.
But that would mean you live somewhere without civilization, without,
Yeah, it's Michigan. Bandwidth. You know this. I live in Michigan.
It's easy for me to say this, but it took until last year for us to get gigabit service in freaking Palo Alto. So, I got nowhere to talk. So
I only have about 10 terabytes on my network, and I can't really see, honestly, needing more for any reason, but I don't do anything important.
I don't know, man.
You're not motivated by distribution, though.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're a real hoarder, you like to organize and you like to distribute.
That's true. And we've talked about this before. I have a pretty good ROM collection, but you can have, like, I only care about things that are like from the 90s and earlier. So like before CD-ROM, and you can fit a lot of games, in a terabyte, if you're only counting games that existed before the existence of CD-ROM.
You can fit a lot in a gigabyte, man. But yeah.
No, I have a 500 gig card in my Raspberry Pi, and it literally has 15,000 games. Every game ever. Let's see. So, but I'm pretty anal about having like my cover art, my screenshots, all that.
It's interesting. I'm looking at this picture, it's kind of zoomed in. I can sort of see Josh Brolin there, and Jason Momoa up front as Duncan. I mean, I have to give him credit. He looks military. I mean,
he looks Duncan-y.
He looks Duncan-y. So maybe he can pull it off. I don't know. I mean, I have to tell you, he's a likable actor. He's not much of an actor, though. You know.
So. My only complaint visually is I feel like the armor looks a little bulky and dumb around the shoulders.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even the still suits just look too. They just don't look still suity. They look too soft. They look too comfortable. You know, the still suit should basically be like a big rubber garment that collects
with
stuff.
lots of tubes.
It's too breathable. It's too breathable.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they got some real quality designers to upgrade them.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, the armor on the Atreides clan, it's very chunky. It's very it looks unfun to wear.
It looks like the sort of thing that you would have had in an older video game where you didn't have enough polygons.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the look. I like all the stills, but
yeah, it's not bad. I'm worried it'd be a little too brown, but because you have brown suits on brown backgrounds with the color brown lighting up brown when something brown happens. But
don't worry, they'll figure out a way to make it both orange and blue.
Yes, teal and blue.
Like every movie that exists. Hey, guess what? We're too lazy to properly do color correction. Get all of our cameras synced up. Ta-da! Everything looks like this now.
So in the picture of Timothée Chalamet with the ornithopters in the background, they're very evocative of the ones from David Lynch. They have that sort of triangular shape to them.
You must have a different galaxy.
Sorry, I could just look at this all day and try to figure it out. But,
I understand.
Here, I'm going to paste it. Here, it's pasted.
Yeah, pasted.
Paste in the general channel.
That's a different picture than I was looking at.
Yeah, but you can see it's got that whole, sort of front end to it. From the
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like Kylo Ren with a bunch of sofas chasing him.
Right? It's like the Attack of the Sofas.
Yeah,
they're chasing him.
That's great. You gotta keep that. That's your joke. I know it's not my day to be the judge of humor, but I'm there for that one. Keep it up.
All right, good. Except that I can't actually make that joke because you can't type it because autocomplete will automatically change chasing into any real word.
You are not the subject of the autocomplete. The autocomplete is the subject of you.
I know. It's
you are the king of your keyboard.
Whoa.
Wow, that's deep, man.
It's just, whenever I start reading Dune stuff, I want to talk like I'm, in House Atreides. Anyway, yeah.
All right, what should we watch on TV tonight? Is there anything good?
Oh, did you guys do you do Better Call Saul? Because that was really good.
I've got 5 episodes saved. I'm ready to go, but I was waiting for it.
I gotta say it was a hard start for me, the whole Better Call Saul, the whole series. In the middle, I always thought this show should really be about Mike because I don't give a shit about Saul.
Yeah.
But this last season is fantastic. It is really good. Yeah.
And I'm like you. I love the Mike character, but even Kim, man. What is it about? What is it about that director? How does he get such good performances out of actors? I mean, how does he identify the ones that can handle it and then pull that off? I mean, Aaron Paul, I hate to say it, he's not that good of an actor, but he got an amazing performance out of him.
He's a one-note bitch.
But man, he was great.
Yeah.
I'm like, his descent into being basically a lab slave by the end of that. I mean, you're like, whoa, man, he's really pulling. Man, that guy's in hell, And I'm like, how does Vince Gilligan get those performances out? I mean, I want him in charge of Dune. I mean, Dennis Villeneuve, yeah, sure, whatever, or however the fuck you say his name.
Whatever.
But Vince, man, imagine Vince's Dune. That's a guy who could pull it off.
Well, Ryan Johnson directed a ton of Breaking Bad too. I mean, that show was like a training ground.
Ryan Johnson? Really?
Yeah. Go through the list. He directed good episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, that guy's I like everything he's ever done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so then that's the question, right? So how did he? I hate to say it, I didn't think he did a great job with the Star Wars movie. That you know, so but he's so good in everything else. You know,
It's
like
almost
Looper.
as if
Looper
what's
Brick was
written
fine.
matters. You know,
Yeah.
it's almost as if you need a good script too.
He wrote the script as well.
Well, there you go.
No, only one man to blame. They replaced. I just checked Rotten Tomatoes, and they replaced all of their box office numbers on that page now with hidden gems to stream on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no box office anymore. They're recommending. Oh, Crashing is a good show. I like that one.
I was just reading that Dr. Dolittle will be one of the biggest hits of the year because of
Academy Award nominated Bad Boys 3.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, honestly, I think it might be it might be Bloodshot because it was in the theaters for a week. You know, and that way we don't have to have.
Well, by Academy rules, none of those can actually be nominated because you have to have they all cut the delivery window. And it's like a 6-week or whatever. There's a time limit in order to be eligible for Oscar contention. You can't go on streaming for like 3 months or 2 months after your theatrical release.
Dr. Dolittle it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That and Sonic the Hedgehog the movie.
That's right.
The gorilla from
Suicide
the gorilla from Dr. Dolittle will win Best Supporting Actor.
Best Supporting Ape.
Best Supporting Primate.
Sorry.
No, so I wonder if there's gonna be any calls for like the butthole cut of Sonic the Hedgehog. You know. So. Good time.
We've hit the 35-minute mark.
We have? Okay.
Wow. I know. Well, we don't have to hang up, but eventually this file becomes too big to deal with. So let's see. Nate, thanks for joining us for Geeks in Space After Dark.
Yeah, thanks for doing After Dark. I appreciate
it. Chris DeBona, thanks.
Thank you.
And the other Rob, the better Rob.
Goodbye. It's not a competition, Rob.
Well, I mean, it is a competition, but the Robs win.
Yeah, that's true.
This has been episode 440 of Geeks in Space, our special After Dark edition. Tip your waiters.